Yo, 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 this is your boy Fireworks, and welcome back. This is Snoopers Gonna Snoop YouTube channel, the beautiful White Gold is here with us today. And we are about to go meet Dizzy at the theater because, of course, we are about to take a look at our first movie of the month, which happens to be the Thunderbolts. All right, so I'm super excited because, of course, my guy Robert Reynolds, Sentry is going to be in this movie, which is going to be awesome to see how it ends up live action. And as well, this should be a pretty good cast with this movie, so it should be actually really good. I mean, away from all the other things that Marvel has done, I think if you want to be critical, looking at this cast, this movie should be really, really good. So, White Gold, how are you feeling going to take a look at Thunderbolts tonight?
I think I'm most excited to see Elena because I really like her. I know the Red Guardian's in here and he's pretty funny. I love Bucky. I don't know, I guess this is like the start of Doomsday kind of stuff. So I don't really know how I feel about it other than being excited to see my people.
Like I said, we're going to go and meet Dizzy down at the theater, okay? We're going to go see it. After we get out, we're going to get his thoughts, and then we will be back with spoilers, okay? So, yes, this will be a spoiler review is how we get down, all right? So, for people, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't seen the movie yet, make sure before you get to the end, you click off. And then when you go see it, come back and check out our spoiler review, okay? But before we get into it or before we go to the theater, make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up, leaving a like. If you're new here to the channel, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so when we do a video just like this one, you all will get them first, okay? So we're excited. It's time for Thunderbolts. Like I said, we're going to go to the theater, meet Dizzy. We'll see you all on the other side. I'm Fireworks, the beautiful White Gold, and this is Snoopers Gonna Snoop YouTube channel. We back. Okay, so we just got out of Thunderbolts. How you feel? Okay, we got a thumbs up.
Well, yeah, man. This is probably my favorite Marvel movie in about 3 or 4 years, man. It was really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Very well done, very well directed. Florence Pugh and Louis Pullman, they were the ones that really, really held it down, but everybody else was great too. Yeah, like I said, I really, really, really enjoyed what they did with this. I really like the chemistry between everybody that's a part of this. Everybody that's part of this new team, and what I really like about it is that there's a chemistry there that we really haven't seen on screen since, you know what I'm saying, since probably Endgame or even Spider-Man No Way Home. So, but yeah, that was something that I really enjoyed. I really liked the camaraderie between everybody. I liked the funny back and forth between Yelena and Alexei. It's always good seeing them together. You know what I'm saying? Bucky's back. You know what I'm saying? So he's a cornerstone in the MCU, as we already know. And I also enjoyed the return of Ghost. Hannah John came and she did a really, really good job. I'm glad that she came back, and I'm glad that she's going to continue to be part of the future installments because she's going to be in the next Avengers, I believe, too. So it's good to see her come back. And then they did a Suicide Squad type treatment to one of the characters. I won't say who, but they did that, and that kind of surprised me. But I got to see how that's going to play out in the future, and I want to make sure I'm not forgetting nobody else. Trying to make sure that I covered everybody in the team. Oh yeah, then Wyatt Russell as John Walker. You know what I'm saying? Still stubborn, still arrogant as ever, but I liked seeing him and Bucky on screen together because I really liked their chemistry during the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. But nah, I really, really enjoyed this. I give this like an 8.5 out of 10. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie in a really long time. Like I said, the pacing was good. I thought it was just the right amount of time for us to, spend time with these characters and go through their individual trauma and stuff. And that was another great thing about this movie, too, is that it dealt with trauma for each character. basically just seeing where they came from and how they got to where they are. And I really liked how in depth they went with Robert Reynolds. Robert Reynolds, also the Sentry. I liked that they kept the mental health aspect of his character intact in the film. There's really cool moments with him too. But I think what I appreciated overall about this film is that it was able to give itself that time to really go into the mental health aspects and the emotional aspects, and trauma and all that stuff. So, so that was really the heart of it. But yeah, definitely enjoyed this. Y'all go check it out. Y'all go see it. I give it 2 thumbs up. And go check it out.
All right, you guys. So welcome back. We just got back in from seeing Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts. All right. So this will be spoilers for people who haven't watched the movie. If you don't want to be spoiled, please click out of the review now, so that way you're not. And then when you go check out the movie, come back and take a look at it and then comment on the video or the review. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know how Dizzy feels. So White Gold, how do you feel?
Well, I will say I enjoyed seeing everyone on screen like that. Like, it was fun to see Elena again and the Red Guardian and Bucky too, and Ghost. Seeing Ghost was really cool. And then even in introducing Sentry, that was really cool too. And he looked really good. They got his effects and stuff off. I think they got the void off really well. However, I was bored. And y'all's probably gonna come for me, but I really don't care. Because a lot of movies, and not just Marvel movies, a lot of movies have the same structure. They follow the same construct. It's I knew immediately that the void was a visual representation of your mental health and just stuff like that, which it's good to watch for future context, because everyone's gonna see Avengers Doomsday and things like that. And then there was a post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four, which probably gives it a little more context, but it was very they spent more time and effort into the CGI and the effects than they did a storyline and a plot line, even at the minimum for this movie. They just brought them all together. Let's throw you into the incinerator and never mind, let's go against Valentina. Cool, fine, but all these movies followed the same construct. And we had those moments, those well-known Marvel moments where they're we're laughing, and then now we want to cry, and now we're back laughing again, and there's action and stuff like that. But yeah, I was pretty bored because of that. I have my good points, but it could have been so much different, I guess, if it was written better, in my opinion. But that's it. I was bored, but I liked it. I still liked it for what it was, because it's a middle movie. It gives you context for further things, and it's bringing back past people, so it's not necessarily any kind of origin unless it comes to Sentry, which that's really not even an origin. We kind of, but not really enough, I think. But yeah.
What do you give it out of 10?
I'm probably a 6.5.
Okay. Well, I really, really enjoyed it. I still think the movie is kind of thin, because you're trying to juggle a lot of characters, and the characters that they chose to use, it's been a while since we've kind of dealt with them on screen, other than Bucky, because he was just in Captain America, which I thought was awesome, because it looks like that him leaving, talking to Sam, he walked right into his role into this. So I like that. And they also did comment on Ross turning into Red Hulk, which makes me think like these movies are back to back, which I like. I like that close together connectivity. But I feel like for the first kind of like 30-40 minutes, it is kind of thin. But once after that, it kind of really picks up with like the Sentry, because I was looking to see how they were going to roll it out. And after I kind of left the movie, I felt like that this was a Sentry movie. Because even the very beginning of the film, Yelena is sent to this site that basically where they were testing these humans, and Bob is the one who ended up working. So that's kind of in a sense where he was born at. There was a shot of him in that same place that Yelena was at in the very beginning of the movie, that we got to see Bob was there. So you got a chance. It kind of does like roll out his origin, but it like doesn't get knee deep into detail. Like in the comic, he's off drugs, he's running, he runs into the lab and ends up taking the super soldier serum that's like on acid, and then he becomes this, dealing with his mental, like his
dark side,
you know what I'm saying, which is with the drugs and addiction and all that stuff. With the super soldier serum, what they explained in here, which is what I like, that is more detailed to Sentry's story, is that you gave Cap the serum. When you give Sentry or a guy like Bob the serum that has these issues, it does something different. And then I like how they kept that detail in there, because if you go back to the Captain America, the first Avenger, they do talk about Steve reacting to it because other people with bad attitudes didn't handle it well. I think the Red Skull took a version of it and he didn't handle it well, and it turned him into the Red Skull. And then Cap is the guy who it worked because he was and so Sentry with his past and all that. So I like how they kind of used certain parts of his story to really get to the audience what's really going on, because I think that's really, really good what they did with Sentry in this movie. Like, I don't know another character that's been like comic book adapted without kind of giving him his own film, but giving him the details so the audience can really connect and understand him. And I think that that's probably the most part of this audience, is really connecting to the trauma and connecting to Sentry's mental health side. You know what I'm saying? They really don't get knee deep into his like dark side, but he does have addiction. He does struggle with, abuse growing up. He does have a huge past, and all of that, which he's never dealt with, comes to the surface when he takes the serum. And so, Sentry is basically, Superman, and the Void is, I want to say Bizarro, but it's not really Bizarro. It's like the Void is, it's way more powerful than what they showed in here. And they showed the mental health side of the Void in this movie, which I liked. But I was talking to them after the movie. I would still like to see the aggressive, evil side of the Void that really kills people. And there was a point in the movie where he held his hand out and he broke the glass. There's points in the comics where he holds his hand out, he blows people up. And I like how his eyes were kind of like glowing yellow. There are shots in the comics where his eyes are like, they look like plasma lava. And so when he moves, they kind of give that trail of like a fiery look. And so I like that, like they chose to do some things really well. His fight scene against the Thunderbolts was done really well. I put my hands on my face like, oh no, like they're in trouble, because he's really powerful. Like I was, he could punch their head off, like that powerful. And
I think the effect was cool of him turning them into like their shadows.
Yeah, see, like that's really, really a good representation to get on screen without like going knee deep or trying to do too much. Right. And I think that that's another thing that I like about the movie, is that the characters that they chose for this entire situation, I think they picked it well because, and I actually think they wrote the story well because the trauma, all of the characters they picked already had trauma, and they didn't use these other movies that they have the trauma in to direct it into this movie. Just so happens to be that they end up together and they are dealing with this, and they use Sentry to put it together, which I think is an amazing idea. Because if you are trying to put Sentry out here,
it's hard to not just go to his origin story because it's really good. It's really theatrical worthy to do and to direct, but they chose to have him be the piece of mental health to add on. Like, what's a character that really dives into mental health? The Sentry. They all have this side of them that they have not dealt with. Ghost, not dealt with it. John Walker, not dealt with it. And we all know the big one is Yelena dealing with the loss of Natasha. There's a lot of fans out there that still haven't really kind of swallowed that pill yet. You know what I'm saying? And as of right now in the MCU, as like a pedestrian, everybody wants a hero now. They're missing their heroes. It's been a while since we've had an Avengers team. It's, you know, so it's Sam wanted to do it. The new Avengers want to do it. Val has turned them into the new Avengers. They looks like they've been doing some new Avengering, so maybe it's like a give and take because, you know, Yelena did kind of threaten her. They're like, you know, we own you now. If you're gonna make us do this, we own you, and then, you know, you'll play into us as long as we do the right thing, which is dope. And I like that kind of, well, I like how that's written too, because that's kind of what Red Guardian's message was to Yelena, was that maybe it's time for you to take up of what your sister was doing. She dealt with the same thing, but was able to put what happened to her aside for a bigger cause, and she understood that. And I think that that was kind of cool to see them become new Avengers. The post-credit scene was amazing, and I was talking to them about it. I think that kind of gives us a lot of the Fantastic Four movie. Galactus coming, and maybe they lose to the point where they have to leave their timeline and they end up in the MCU, or something goes wrong to the point where they end up here, which is awesome. And it kind of, you know, that connects. Them being here will probably be the start of Doomsday, or whatever's in between, or whatever the case may be. But I think that was awesome to see. And on top of that, Fantastic Four as a post-credit scene, the movie comes in 2 months. So I think that's awesome timing and connectivity. We don't have to, like, normally Marvel gives us a post-credit scene and we have to wait a year before it makes sense. No, we have to wait 2 months. And the Fantastic Four post-credit scene will probably connect to straight to Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? So as far as Marvel boxes checked, I think they did a good job. I'll probably give the movie like an 8 out of 10. I do think the first kind of 40 minutes is a little thin. But I do enjoy how they input Sentry's story into this film. And I like how they kind of wrapped it all together. It's done in a grounded, nice way for me. So I had a good time. Sentry rocked. I'm satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'd probably give it like an 8. So you all let us know down in the comments how you feel about the Thunderbolts. Okay, so I guess we got Ironheart up next in June. And then it's Fantastic Four, Superman and Fantastic Four, right? So before we get out of here, make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up and leaving a like if you're new here to the channel, and subscribe and tap that notification bell so when we do a video just like this one, you all will get them first, all right? So we have tons of MCU content on the channel. We have a playlist, and we also have like what has been done, a little bit of Phase 4 and 5. We do have some of that stuff on the channel. So if you guys want to take a look at that, you can, all right? So we'll be back with more content very, very soon, all right? I'm Fireworks, the beautiful White Gold, and this is Snoopers Gonna Snoop YouTube channel. We out.